If someone had told me back then that I'd be, head coach of a Ligue 1 side when I was 30 years old, I'd have told them to punch me in the face, because that's totally ridiculous. We weren't allowed a PlayStation at home because my parents didn't want to, so we were only allowed a computer. And the only football game that was any good on the computer was Football Manager. Whether it was weekends, after having played our own game of football, was it with mates, starting a career and doing all of that. I was probably about, 8 or 9, just getting to grips with how the famous space button on the keyboard works. There is nothing better than choosing or picking your team, doing your lineup, setting the training schedule out, and playing that game, even if it's virtual. So yeah, indirectly, it must have had some sort of an impact somewhere down the line, because it's basically what we do, or what I do day in, day out now. I decided to go into coaching after coming back from college in England. So I've lived my whole life in Belgium, and I was born and raised there. Went to college for 2 years, played for college, played at a decent level. After college, I sort of understood that I wasn't going to become a professional footballer. And so I thought, all right, well, what's the next best thing? What can I do? There's so much more than just playing. You can be a video analyst, you could be a scout, you can be a physio, you can be a physical prep, you can be whatever you want. And coaching was, to me, like the closest adrenaline buzz that you get from being a player was the most sort of similar. And it was that click of, right, that's what I want to do. During that college year, we coached the under-14s of Preston. Being involved in the PNE Youth Academy was just something so crazy at that stage. Like, this is PNE, this is Preston North End, these kids are actually good. And I'd coached before in the past with my brother, but one of the sort of first big step was that one, was being in contact with these coaches, with these players of that sort of standard, where you sort of thought, yeah, this is what I want to do. This is where I want to go. So I came home from college back to Belgium, and it was like, I don't want to do anything else now. And basically knocked on every professional Belgian club possible, knocked on the door, said, I'm young, I'm no one, but I've got this experience, I've done this at college, I've got a degree in it. Can I, in any way or form, be of any help? And, you get, nah, you're all right, mate, nah, but keep going, or I'll ring you back in 2 weeks, and then you never get anything. So after about, 26 no's and doors being closed left, right and centre, I had the chance of one club or one coach just opened the door for me and said, can you film a game? I was like, yeah, I can film a game, yeah. Can you cut video? I was like, yeah, I can cut video. Right, well, our first opponent in the Proximus League at that stage is playing tomorrow afternoon. So go and watch their game, film it, clip it, and come back with a feedback in 2 days. And this coach was Yannick Ferreira, who's a young Belgian coach, working for STVV, so Sint-Truiden, who were at that stage were in second division in Belgium. And that's what I did. I went and filmed the game in the middle of nowhere of the opposition team for the first league game of the season. Filmed it, cut it, analysed it. I think I watched the game about 26 times because I was so, I just wanted to prove that I could see what was happening. I went back 2 days later to the club and said, "This is what I've got. Do you want to see it?" And he said, "Whoa, this is ridiculous. You've done far too much." But I was like, "Yeah, I know, but I was a bit ambitious." But he said, "No, this is really good. Just what's your work situation right now?" I was like, "Well, I haven't got one, so I've just finished college, so I'm sort of looking at what's next." And in Belgium, you can do like an apprenticeship where you go into a workplace for however long, and then they either offer you a contract or they don't. And so that's what I did, and went in as an apprentice, more or less, without being paid, because you don't get paid for that sort of thing, in STVV, a club that I'd actually played for when I was a kid in their youth academy. As time went on, I was sort of spending more and more time on the pitch, and you basically, without really thinking about it, become an assistant coach, and you're doing set pieces, and then you're doing a rondo, and then you're doing a passing drill, and then all thanks to Yannick. About 3 years later, I was assistant coach to Lierse, who were playing in second division in Belgium, and we were, I think it was about 6 games into the season. We were bottom of the league, and the coach got sacked, and I was 24 at this stage. And the owner rung me up on the way back from the game that we'd just played and said, "Right, Will, you're doing it." I was like, "What?" No, you're doing it. As from tomorrow, you're head coach. You do it. With all due respect, I can't say yes to that because there are 2 or 3 other assistants that have got way more experience than I have. So, thank you, but no, thank you. They said, no, I don't care about them. You're doing it. I like you. You've got loads of good ideas, so you do it. Okay, I haven't really got a choice, so then, I'll just do it. And went from there. I was 24, absolutely bricking it, if I'm being honest, because I had no idea of what I was putting my feet into, and managed to win. I think it was 7 or 8 games on the trot, and we went from bottom of the league to more or less top of the league within that space of time. My world just sort of flipped on its head, going from no one really knew to someone that people were stopping in the shops, and you were on telly every week and people were talking about you, and so that was just crazy. Being head coach at 24, when you say it now, it's completely ridiculous, to be fair, but yeah, it did happen. So after being head coach at Beerschot when I was 28, again, similar story to what happened in Lierse. Coach left, I became head coach. We finished 9th in league, which was slap bang in the middle of it. Had a decent season, and the board of directors said, "Listen, Will, you're only 28. We want to, ease the pressure off you, and we always know the second season is the most difficult. So we want to bring in a new head coach, but we want you to stay on as assistant." And me not being arrogant at all, I just thought the concept of becoming assistant again was really difficult, because you've had a role and a responsibility towards the players and towards the people that you've managed, that it's then really, well, to me, it was impossible to go back into an assistant's role knowing that there was something new, going to come in and create another energy in there. So, cut long story short, we agreed to terminate my contract. And then Reims came knocking on the door, basically. I think it was about 10 days later. General director rang me up, said, "Will, we've just appointed Oscar Garcia as head coach. He needs an assistant. We've been following you for, X number of years. Do you want to come down to Reims for a chat?" They like the way I deliver a session and plan a session. And they said, "We came to watch a few sessions. You didn't even know we were there. But the energy that you put into it, and the energy that is then created from that session, is something that we really like. And that's what we need at Reims now. We've got a good head coach. We've got assistants that are good in, video analysis and mental preparation. But we need someone on the pitch that is giving sessions and enough quality to give to the players." So I was like, "Okay, yeah, I can give a session. That's not a problem." And it just went from there. And I had the opportunity to become assistant manager or assistant head coach in Ligue 1. Bit your hand off if you'd have said it twice. So took that opportunity, and Ligue 1 is unbelievable. I mean, you play a few of the best teams in the world. Is it PSG? Is it Marseille? Is it Lyon? They're all unbelievable. The club decided on that morning, it was a Wednesday, I can remember, it was a Wednesday, "Oscar's off. These are the terms in your contract, so you can't leave, and we're not firing you, and we want you to take over." At first they said, "Okay, we'll give you until the World Cup. Just, make sure that we pick up as many points as we can before the World Cup. And then we'll have a sit down and have a chat as the World Cup is happening." And that's basically what's happened now. They said they were incredibly happy with the way things have gone and the way the team's playing and the way, the club has sort of relifted itself in a way. And they've asked me to, keep going, basically. So, again, another weird pinch me type of moment. My first thought was, God, I hope we don't get smashed 6-0, or I hope we don't concede 7 goals, or God, I hope, this tactical, whatever we've set up is going to work, or I hope the players have understood this, and a million things go through your head, and you sort of think, this could go anywhere. But then as soon as the team meeting starts and you're in the changing room, you've done the press, and the players are out for the warm-up, then it just, I don't know how to explain it, it just sort of switches off and you're like, okay, it's game time. And it all happens in a blur. The PSG game, the first one, was unbelievable. The magnitude of PSG and what they are in world football for the moment. Holding them to a draw, stopping them from scoring was like, wow, we did that. The feeling of doing something together, like with the players and with the rest of the staff and with the whole, people around you, that feeling of, we might not be the best team in the world, but we've got enough quality all around the club to put something together that's going to be, more or less effective. That feeling is really satisfying. And, because winning the game is obviously unbelievable. But the sort of energy that you create and the environment that you create that people, A, want to be in, and then B, want to perform in, that's what I enjoy the most, I think. Since I went into the professional, game, yes, at the start I was playing Football Manager a lot, and I was trying to win the league with Sint-Truiden at that point. And over the years, whenever there's a holiday or whenever there's a break or whenever there's a moment and I'm a bit bored at home, then it's, tell you what, I might just start a career with often West Ham. But to be fair, I haven't actually played since I took over in Reims because, well, whatever you do on the game, I'm now doing in real life. Well, I tell you what, and I think people that play Football Manager will be able to, identify themselves. That feeling of an 89th or 90th minute winner, or a really important game that you have to win, and you've probably over-prepared whatever you've done on the game, and it then comes off. And I can picture myself having a little dance around my chair, You have that same feeling after winning a game of football in real life. And I'll take the last home game we won against Nantes. It's the best feeling ever. Best feeling ever. And when you win a league on Football Manager, you sort of sit there for half an hour going, yes, I've done it, I've won it. But no, it's very similar, very similar. If someone had told me back then that I'd be, head coach of a Ligue 1 side when I was 30 years old, I'd have told them to punch me in the face because that's totally ridiculous. But I've never sort of set any boundaries or set any goals or set any sort of limits to what I want to do or what I can do. In a boring way, I'll take whatever, my career chucks at me. But if I'm being a little kid, then I'll probably say, coaching West Ham one day. Being a West Ham fan that'll be unreal. It's a shame it's not Upton Park anymore, but the Olympic Stadium's got something about it too. So coaching West Ham, or I think, you ask any coach, it's winning a Champions League or winning a major trophy. That would be unbelievable. But there's a bit of way to go before I get there. So keep working.